Hi everybody, Jim from County Corvette. I have with me here today on this beautiful November, well that's first off, it's November 10th, so happy anniversary to the Marine Corps and everybody served. But this is unusual weather for November 10th, but you know, if you watch my videos, you know I like the warm weather. So anyway, here we are doing another video on another great car. This is a customer's car that we just picked this thing up. It's a 2000 with around 18,000 miles, one owner. No paint work. It has the original tires that will sell with the car. They're included if you want them. We put brand new tires on it because it would fail due to age. And this car was incredible. So we went through the car. The harmonic balancer, had that little shake on it. We replaced that. We did all the brake and clutch flushes. Sway bar end links. They're just inherently they're bad design. They go bad. So all the little nuances. All the little things that are problematic due to age on these cars, it's all been done. It's all been done. So this car, when the mechanic was working on it, he's like, hey, this is probably one of the nicest C5s I've seen in 20 years. And I can't disagree. It's magnetic red. There's not a mark on it. It's absolutely original, flawless, original paint. It is a 6-speed car. So I don't know what else you could ask for. Polished wheels, transparent top. It doesn't get better than this car. So this is a sight unseen car. You buy this car sight unseen, you'll be you'll be surprised how nice it is, even after what I'm telling you here. There's just no surprises on it, and we've done all the preventative maintenance. Now he always kept good batteries in it, so there's no issues there, but the car is just like a fresh penny. It's always been inside, always been used for secondary use. And just one of those great Corvettes that we just love to represent. So that's it. So that's my sales pitch. I don't need to, go into much more because it's like a new C5. All right, so we're gonna take this thing out for a spin on this incredibly nice day, and we'll talk more. Okay, so we're running here. We're almost up to temperature. This thing does have actually 18,392 miles. The interior in this thing it's really spotless. A lot of times when these cars will sit outside, not a lot of times, every time one of these cars sits outside for extended periods of time, these transparent roofs will they'll start to develop what appears to be cracking in there. It's an acrylic top, and the compound just starts to break down over time. This thing is absolutely perfect. And I don't say perfect unless it's perfect. People overuse that term, but that top is perfect. I mean, there's not a mark on it. So really nice to see that. And well, this thing's just it's like a new C5, just the way you can feel these shifters over time, just the way they bearings will get a little loose. It's a long connective rod that goes back to the transaxle, and things start to wear over time. But yeah, with the brand new tires on here, it truly does feel like a like a new C5. All the lumbar works in here, the seat side bolsters, everything works perfectly. So this one's going to be a little bit more money than some comparable stuff with heavier mileage that you'll see on Car Gurus, and that's you get what you pay for. But even for an 18,000 mile car, this one actually is nicer than I would expect. There's not an oil leak on this car. I mean, residue, nothing. I mean, it's just so nice. So not only was it a one-owner car that was, kept indoors and all that, it was pampered. It was never driven hard. I say a lot of times I drive these cars harder on my test drives than prior owner drove it all of its life. But yeah, I don't abuse the car. I mean, a red line is a red line. The car should be able to easily go to a red line without a hiccup. And most of these LS engines do. I mean, these things are bulletproof. You really have to work hard to kill one. Much like the old, 350, 327s, they were really bulletproof engines too, but what you didn't have there is electronic, high voltage electronic ignitions. HEI was pretty good. I mean, I've been shocked by an HEI. It was pretty high voltage, but still not to the level of the modern engines. So, all that said, we're going to do a nicer detail on this car. Like the inside of the windshield's a little dirty. Just fogs up over time. Just clean it up. But this is how the car lived. It was beautifully maintained, beautifully kept, and this is the type of car I own. When I buy stuff. Although I'm really bad at owning cars anymore. It seems like anything I own, I end up selling, in a short period of time. I try to keep one driver, just because, if you're flipping cars all the time, you tend not to pay attention to in detail as to how things work. And there's nothing worse than being in a spot where you need it, to not knowing where your flashers are, your four-way flashers. So that's something I dislike. So I try to keep a driver, for a couple years. That way, the car. But I digress. Back to this thing. Everything works as it should. There's not going to be any problems with this car. We did everything, that we do. If there's any question, particularly the harmonic balancer. I don't think there's too many dealers that would have changed that, but we want them right. And I want to ask, top dollar for the car. All right, let's get on a little bit. Here we go. Okay, right up to 6,000 RPM. Runs as it should. I hit the rev limiter a little bit on first to second. Kind of wearing boots here today, and not conducive to driving a sports car. But runs out perfect, and there's a good chance that I just drove this thing harder than the prior owner ever did in 20 years. It's 22 years, quite likely. But again, it goes with the territory. So, I don't know if you've watched my video on C5s, but you want to run Tektron or a similar type of lubricant. It's an additive in the fuel. It's really lubricant. You've got dual tanks in these C5s, and the senders really like that lubricant. And if you don't do that over time, they can develop some problems. You have to change the senders. And if you don't know what you're doing there, you can break the filler neck, and you just fixed one of them. Another shop tried to shortcut it, and now we got to put a fuel tank in it. So there are no shortcuts in life. You all know that by now. Anyway, this is the one. This is a great one. If you like mag red, you want to shift your car, buy this one. I'm telling you, and there's not another nicer one out there. So let me know what you think. And I am curious as to perception of 6-speed cars out there. Do you guys, do you see the value long-term going up in this shifter car or going down? I mean, might be a good way from keeping your Gen Z kid from driving it. But I suspect if you are like me and you've got a teenager, you're going to make them learn how to shift. It's just negligence, almost criminal. I mean, how could you raise kids without knowing how to shift? Seems just cruel. Anyway, I'm joking. But I am interested as to what people think about manual versus automatic in the future. That I have a hunch, because I'm seeing the demand grow right now. I think they're going to be in higher demand. So let me know what your thoughts are. And of course, if you have an interest in this car, don't snooze on it. It should fly out. we have a lot of customers. We'll probably make some phone calls on this one too. People, you know, looking for something in particular. Okay, so thanks for watching, and let us know if you have an interest in it, and give me some feedback on the manual versus transmission. Thanks for watching.